Somebody woke up a website that had been dead for 8 years. On June the 9th, WakingTitan.com, the address of the official No Man's Sky ARG from 2017, came back online and pointed itself at the studio that built it. Hello Games appears to still own that domain. Nobody outside the company should have been able to touch it. Now, hold that next to this. The website at the center of all this was registered in April on a 1-year term on WordPress.com. The man who ran Waking Titan says he did not create this one and does not know who did. 4 months in, not one gaming website has written a word about it. And the person behind it is answering emails one at a time. He says he gets about 30 an hour. 20 pieces of evidence, 10 that say a studio is doing this, 10 that say one person is. I went through every one of them, ranked them, and I'm going to show you my scoring and what it reveals. GoodGuysFree here with the case for and the case against, so let's get started. A quick thank you to my Discord staff and volunteers. You keep that place running while I disappear into something like this for a week. And this episode is built almost entirely on other people's work. The domain digging, the who is pulls, the archive, the timeline. I did the ranking, they did the finding. One thing before the list. I scored every piece of evidence on a single question. How hard would this be to fake? Anybody can make a website look official. Very few people can change a DNS record on a domain a game studio owns. So I'm going weakest first, both lists, building to the 2 items that actually decide this. Number 10, the press silence read generously. 4 months, no coverage anywhere. You can read that as a studio keeping something quiet before a reveal. It is the weakest thing on this list, and it flips completely later on. Number 9, the anniversary. It started in March. It is obsessed with the year 2016, and No Man's Sky turns 10 on August the 9th. Suggestive, but that is also the obvious date for a fan tribute. Number 8. The lore is accurate at insider depth. Loop 16. Process ID 16. Emily. Myriad. The Extinction. And it restaged Waking Titan's own Should I Exist vote almost exactly. A dedicated fan can know all of that. Some of them know it better than the people who wrote it. Number 7. The surface area. Website, X, Blue Sky, Twitch, Reddit, a second domain, forum presence, and real-world location drops in London, Ottawa, Brussels, and Paris. One of the operators said it months ago. I don't think it's only one person behind it. Is that a team? Or one very organized person with a scheduler? What do you think? Number 6. Hello Games has let it run. This lives on the Atlas 65 forums, which Hello Games owns. The architect got his own category. His first post was auto-banned by the spam bot and then reinstated, and no moderator has explained how. 4 months of a stranger running an unauthorized campaign on your own forum in your anniversary year. Permission? Or nobody minding the shop? Number 5. Anashel came back. Andrea Doyon. Anashel was the puppet master of Waking Titan. As this scaled up, he turned up listed as a forum moderator again, and it is reported he promoted the ARG on another Discord with an @everyone ping he almost never uses. Hold on to him. He comes back later and not on this side of the list. Number 4. That is Emily's real voice. The About page hides an audio track, reported to be her actual Waking Titan voice work. I haven't compared the files myself, but if that is right, somebody has been publicly reusing licensed voice assets from a commercial campaign for 4 months, and nobody has sent a takedown. Number 3. The sitemaps moved on the same day, May the 18th. A batch of pre-release era pages on the No Man's Sky website carry a last modified date of May 18th. So does a bulk of Project-Skyscraper.com's sitemap. And the next morning, the site published the security breach entry, the one that linked the forum thread. Sitemaps get touched for boring reasons all the time. Same day though? What are the odds? Number 2. Skyscraper is not just the codename, it is the engine. Most people know the Sean Murray line about building Swedish houses before you build a skyscraper. But one of the operators found the sharper version. Skyscraper is the actual name of Hello Games' proprietary engine. It shows up in a leaked debug build. It is used in No Man's Sky, and probably in Light No Fire. That is not fan trivia. Somebody picked the name off the inside of that studio. Number 1. Somebody moved a domain Hello Games owns. And here is the one that keeps me up. On June the 9th, WakingTitan.com woke up and started redirecting to Allison Smith. That domain has never changed hands since it was first bought, and Hello Games listed it in their own privacy policy before October 2025. So they very probably still own it. And the timing was not loose. 2 days later, the ARG published a diagnostic that used the redirect in the story, as the moment the historical database was declared permanently lost. You can fake a website. You cannot fake somebody else's DNS record. Hold on to that. Nothing in the next 10 explains it away. Same rules. Weakest first. Number 10. The people closest to it have decided. By late July, the forum was calling it this incredible thing a bunch of fans have unofficially built. The main public archive carries a flat non-affiliation disclaimer. That is a vibe, not a fact, and I am scoring it last for exactly that reason. Number 9. The reach is wrong. The Reddit account was reportedly removed by Reddit's own admins. The one Steam thread got locked, with players calling it unofficial fan fiction. The active operator base is in the low hundreds. The operators said it themselves. Waking Titan thrived on that certified official status. And this one never got it. Number 8. The plot was decided by a public poll. Whether to forgive system, the emotional climax of the whole story was put to the operators on Strawpoll, a free polling site. I have never seen a marketing campaign hand its third act to the audience on a free web tool. That is somebody running a game for his friends, and I mean it as a compliment. Number 7. He described himself, and he described one guy. Asked who he is, a software engineer specializing in shallow neural network. French. Living in the UK. His real name, he says, matters very little. And then this. I am not a web developer. Having worked on systems front-end interfaces, I think that became fairly obvious. A studio does not apologize for its own front end. He replies to individual operators. He sent Q&A answers by forum direct message. He is up past midnight approving comments. 30 emails an hour by his own count. And this from his answer to question 8. Since that number turned out to be much smaller than we had anticipated, things took a far more personal direction. I had never intended to communicate directly with some of you. I had to reassess the entire strategy. Does that read like a plan to you, or like improvising? Number 5. Look at what it is built on. The who is again, slowly. Registered April 24th, 2026. Expires April 24th, 2027, a 1-year term. Not 5 years, not 10, 1. The cheapest option on the shelf. Name servers pointing at WordPress.com. Privacy through the free default proxy. No cluster of related domains. No agency hosting, no CDN. Waking Titan was an estate of interlocking custom-built sites. This is a hobby blog with the lights turned down. Number 4. It has never once touched the game. 4.5 months and 0 in-game payload. No update. No expedition tie-in. No item, no mission, no line of dialogue. Not for lack of trying. The Swarm expedition, the Hive of Glass, glyph addresses, the NMS love bases, everyone still filed as unconfirmed. Every Waking Titan season ended in a real update. Atlas Rises, next. That was the entire point of doing it. Number 3. The Waking Titan project managers said no. In writing. Back in May. An operator with a line to the Waking Titan project management team posted the screenshot. Yes, I have confirmation from the WTPM. They are not running this. Number 2. Anashel says he did not make it. Remember him? From number 5 on the other list? Here is what he wrote. While it wasn't created by me, I invite you to join them. Big heart to the NMS community. I don't know if it's fan or official, so keep in mind I can't help. Read the middle of that again. I don't know if it's fan or official. The man who ran the last official No Man's Sky ARG does not know who is running this one. 2 independent denials from the only 2 parties who could plausibly be doing it. Never retracted. Number 1. Nobody wrote about it. This is the one. For me, it is the strongest piece of evidence in the episode, and it gets almost no attention because it is a boring kind of evidence. It is an absence. 4 months. Nothing from PC Gamer, Eurogamer, Rock Paper Shotgun, Kotaku, Games Radar, VG247, The Gamer, Dexerto. no Game Detective's wiki page, and Game Detectives is the reference site for ARGs. No ARGnet coverage. Waking Titan had all of that within weeks, because that was the job. A studio ARG exists to get people talking about the game, in public, at scale, on the way to an update. A campaign that generates zero press in 4 months has not been kept quiet. It had failed. And Hello Games are many things, but they are not bad at this. And now for something completely different. 212,613. That number is all over Project Skyscraper. It is the cell count on the counting page. 3 blades, 131 by 541. It is the gap between the site's posts in seconds. Your operator prime has to sit under it. And when an operator submitted a memory saying over 210,000, system corrected it to the exact figure. So what is it? It is the all-time peak concurrent player count for No Man's Sky on Steam. Launch day, August 2016. The high watermark the game has never come close to since. Best since is around 98,000. And the community got there before I did. Operators had clocked that figure as the player count by early July, and on July 11th, they registered the group for NMS 10, the community anniversary event, in-game, all-platform, August 9th at 1800 UTC. I'm gonna stream that too. Details and link in the description. NMS 10's own pitch asks it directly, can we beat the 2016 player peak? Same number, same year, same date. 3 weeks ago by the people playing this thing. So I am not going to pretend I found it. My question is the one I have not seen asked. Not did we notice the number, but why did the author pick it? Because it goes further than the number. NMS 10 calls itself Expedition for the Dreamers, and I love them for it. On August 1st, Project Skyscraper opened a page called The Shared Dream, and the ARG has called 2016 the year the shared dream was born for weeks. Our architect is French. Now, this is where people start inventing things, and I'm not going to be the guy who does that. I have no evidence that anyone involved in NMS 10 is running this. In 4 months, nobody has named a real person as the author, and I am not going to be the first to do it on a hunch. But I will be honest with you about where my head is. I keep coming back to the idea that whoever built this and the people who built the anniversary, NMS 10, might not be strangers. I have nothing. It just fits, and I cannot shake it. But a French author, a French language ARG, a number lifted off the 2016 player peak, a page called The Shared Dream, an event called The Expedition for the Dreamers, and both landing on the same date. Am I pattern matching on noise? I genuinely cannot tell anymore. Tell me in the comments. So, 10 and 10. But they are not 10 and 10 in weight, and that is the whole reason I ranked them. 9 of the 10 arguments for official are things a very good fan could produce. Lore, a codename, a coincidence in sitemap, an anniversary. Only one needs access nobody outside the company has, the domain. And on the other side, the strongest items are not clever readings of clues at all. 2 people said, on the record, we are not doing this. And the press did not write a single word in 4 months. So here's my opinion, and it is an opinion. Nobody has confirmed anything, and I have been wrong before. I think Project Skyscraper is fan-made. One person or a very small group, almost certainly French. I think Hello Games know about it, and have quietly decided not to get in the way, which is a lovely thing for them to do. Which leaves the domain, and I'm not going to invent an answer. Either it was a routine housekeeping and the architect wrote the redirect into the story afterward, or somebody flipped one DNS record as a favor to a fan project they liked. Costs nothing, commits nobody, fits, I can't help, exactly. Or it really is official, and a lot of people have kept a straight face for 4 months. I lean on the middle one. I would not put money on it. What is your read? That is the piece I cannot close, and one of you probably can. Here's the good part. You do not have to take my word for any of it. We get an answer in 6 days, August 9th, 10 years of No Man's Sky. If this resolves into an actual update, an in-game event, or any acknowledgement from Hello Games, I am wrong and I will say so. If August 9th comes and goes and the ARG is still running on its own WordPress while Hello Games does the anniversary separately, then it is settled. And what these people built without a studio behind them is more impressive, not less. Either way, Thank you, Hello Games, for 10 years of a game that made community capable of this. So tell me, which of those 20 moved you the most? The domain or the press silence? And if you have got something I missed, especially on that redirect, put it in the comments. I would much rather be corrected than confidently wrong. If you found this useful, hit like and consider subscribing, because I will be covering August 9th either way. And maybe join my live stream. GoodGuysFree here, and I'll see you again soon.